The Don Group expected its full-year earnings to be between 186 and 206% higher. Financial results have just been released today, and we do pick up with Thabiso Tlelai, who's the Chief Executive of the Don Group. Thabiso, you're on the outskirts of Gauteng somewhere. I guess you're staying away from shareholders, because this was a company we were hoping you would sell these wonderful properties of yours for lots of money and distribute that to shareholders. It hasn't quite worked out that way.
It's not that page is not closed yet. What we've been preoccupied with to date is to dispose of the properties and to settle what liabilities arose over the life of the group and linked to the disposals. And there was a lot of work. There was a lot of detailed things we had to be very diligent about in that regard. We have, I can say that we have finished and finalized that as of now. All the properties have been transferred and all money is received, and a lot of the creditors, especially the big ones, have been settled. So there's still quite a bit of cleaning up to do for us to then say what do we do with the cash shell as it stands at the moment.
How much cash do you have, if you can give us an understanding of the unimpaired cash that would be there?
As of the end of the year, which was end of June, the cash was approximately 20 million, and we have subsequently settled the IDC, subsequently settled the receiver, SARS, and received transfer of the properties that happened post the year end. Let's say that the cash sits between 60 and 70 million.
All right, and presumably most of that will be distributed to shareholders, or is it staying in the cash shell?
The shareholders are to, once all the cleanup is done, we will let the shareholders know what the direction is. Right now, my focus is to really clean up and settle all the creditors and just make sure that I close this page as elegantly as possible, and then the directors will take a view of exactly what we do with what ends up being the money in the bank.
Thabiso, you did mention that you paid SARS. That was due to what was termed in your results a reportable irregularity. Just take us through what happened there.
At the time that we decided to dispose of the assets, we were unable to pay SARS for both PAYE. We were behind on VAT. And these are reportable. We had been filing for these taxes, so we made SARS aware of where we are falling short, but we didn't have the money. Hence, one of the reasons that we went to disposals. So when these kinds of debt arise, these are reportable. SARS was aware. We made them aware, and they were aware of what we were doing to deal with it. So the earliest we could deal with it, we did, and we were talking to SARS on a regular basis. We really had built a very good relationship with SARS in such a manner that we are comfortable that they are happy with the submissions that we have to date paid and settled, and whatever reimbursements that must happen, we think that in due course we will be able to close this file properly.
Well, it sounds to me like you were really forced sellers of your properties, because if you weren't able to meet your VAT payments or your PAYE payments, your tax obligations, then clearly you were pushed into a position where you had to sell the hotels.
Yes, I think it's not totally incorrect to say that. The environment of hotels had changed drastically post World Cup, and we were either continuously eroding shareholders' value or stopping it and taking money back to diverting the erosion to preserving the shareholders' value. We opted for the preservation of the value, and the sale was serving us in that regard.